Hey guys, target audience here. Welcome to another tutorial video. Today we are looking at a crucial aspect of NHL 14 that is commonly overlooked. This is the art of passing. In the real NHL, some of the best goals are scored from some of the nastiest passes. A great pass can mean the difference between lifting the cup and crying on the sidelines. Now, EA has been getting much better at creating the most realistic hockey experience, and while most of the game is very much true to life, there are some aspects that still make it just a video game. Passing is one of those aspects. In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to make the passes that really stand out, the ones that make a difference, the ones that will let you lift the coveted digital reproduction Stanley Cup. There are numerous ways to make a pass in NHL 14, but we are going to examine just the creme de la creme, the ones that require a keen eye for the game and a good ability to read a play. Before we get into all of the tips and tricks to passing, you need to know how to make a pass properly. As cliche as it is, you can't just make a pass, you have to be the pass. When you make your pass, you really need to focus on it. You have to pick the player on the ice you want the puck to go to, and then really focus on making sure the left stick is pointed directly at that player. It is really easy for players to get into a trend of lazily aiming their passes. This is how pucks miss the target and how turnovers are created. Now, if you're fully in this mindset, we can move on to learning the art of passing. The first pass we're going to look at is the toe drag pass. This one is by far my favorite passing method in the entire game. To do this pass, it is pretty simple. All you need to do is pull the right stick back into the toe drag animation. To do the toe drag, hold the right stick to the 4 o'clock position for right-handed skaters or the 8 o'clock position for left-handed skaters. Once in the toe drag, you can pass the puck where you see fit. So why is this pass so great? I myself commonly play the right wing with a left-handed player. This is also known as playing your off wing. Skating in on your off wing presents you with somewhat of a challenge when it comes to passing, and it often scares inexperienced players away because of it. Because you're skating in on your off wing, the rest of your team is located either behind you or on your backhand side. It is much harder to do a backhand pass than it is a forehand pass. The backhand has less power and is far less accurate. This is where the toe drag comes in. Let's take a look at a few examples. In our first example, Matt Moulson is able to get a better passing lane across the crease by using the toe drag. The toe drag motion opens up a nice little seam that would normally be blocked if he had just simply passed the puck. Let's take a look at the neutral zone. In this clip, we see how quickly a simple toe drag pass can create an enormous chance right off the face-off. The toe drag creates separation from the opposing player, allowing for a nice passing play. In the defensive zone, you can run into a lot of problems breaking out if you aren't careful. You can see here how PK Subban avoids a turnover by toe dragging a pass around the opposing player. This creates a ton of open ice for Max Pacioretty. The second pass type we will look at is the extended backhand pass. It is very similar to the toe drag but utilizes the backhand instead of the forehand. Sometimes when you are skating around looking for a free skater to pass to, you aren't presented with very many options. Just like the toe drag, the extended backhand can open up numerous possibilities for passes. Simply hold the right stick to your player's backhand and then pass the puck. Let's take a look at a few scenarios where the extended backhand can be used. In this example, we can see how Kassian has moved the puck to the backhand, bringing it slightly closer to Kessler. This allows for a nice little place for Kassian to slide the puck over to Kessler. If he had not held this puck to the backhand, the defender would easily pick it off. Here we see how Dan Hamhuis has utilized the extended backhand in the neutral zone. While this pass most likely wouldn't have been picked off, the move created more space for Zadine to receive the puck. This allows for more room for error, just in case. Sometimes getting out of the defensive zone requires a little finesse. I find the backhand creates more seams for a breakout. You can see here, Edler has held the backhand to the center of the ice, and while this play would normally be dangerous, he is able to pull it off because he has found a seam with the backhand. Remember a time when the go-to goal was the cross crease? You could execute this play time and time again. Provided you connect with your teammate, it is an almost guaranteed goal. When NHL 13 came out, EA made it pretty much impossible to score on a cross crease goal. They did this in two ways. One, they made the defense better. D-men were picking off cross-crease passes left, right, and center. And the goalies were superhuman in terms of stopping the cross-crease. It didn't matter how far across the crease that pass came, the goalie, for the most part, made the save. Completely unrealistic, if you ask me. So when NHL 14 came out, the developers recognized that it was unrealistic and made the switch. But only with the goalies. So if you get an opportunity with the cross-crease, the goalie will have a tough time stopping it. The only tough part is getting the pass through the defenseman. This is where the next pass comes into play. The protected pass is a nifty little trick that you can utilize at key moments in the game to really turn the tide of the play your way. You'll be finding seams in the defense all day long. Your teams will marvel at your insane passing ability. After all, this game is all about showing off, right, Mark Wahlberg?
I am a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
To pull off the protected pass, all you need to do is skate down either wing. It doesn't matter which. As you hit the top of the face-off circle, hold the A button to protect the puck off to the outside. Hold this position until you find a slight opening between the defenders. The fewer defenders between you and the pass receiver, the easier this is to do. While still holding A, pull the right trigger to pass the puck across to your teammate. Now, this doesn't work every time, but it certainly does help. Remember to really focus your aim for this move. Believe me, it is a lot harder to get the pass on target than it is to get through the defenders, so focus. The cross crease is not the only situation you can utilize this move in. You can do it all over the ice and find success. Take a look at these examples. You can see here how Rich Peverley has used the protected pass to his advantage. He's able to place the puck right on Ben's stick in the high slot. Now, this is quite similar to the cross crease, but obviously it works anywhere on the ice. In this situation, it allows for Jamie Benn to snipe a nice wrister top shelf. In the neutral zone here, Eric Cole creates more space for Whitney by protecting the puck first. It also creates an auto saucer pass, which places the puck right on Whitney's forehand, catching him in stride. Normally, a pass like this would require Whitney to reach around and behind him to pick up the puck. Don't leave out the defensive zone though. You can see here the protected pass allows for the puck to go right past the opposing player and onto the stick of a teammate. Peverley is able to settle the puck and make an attempt for the offensive zone. The one-touch pass seems like an obvious one, but there are a lot of people who do not take full advantage of it. The one-touch can give you a nice jump start on your opponent by taking advantage of a quick change in puck direction. If you have a good team that can cycle the puck well, you'll have defenders running all over the ice like chickens with their heads cut off. To do the one-touch pass, all you need to do is press and release the right trigger just before the puck hits your stick. Make sure to aim your pass too, otherwise it will go wherever it feels like. You can execute this pass wherever you want to. Offensive zone, defensive zone, neutral zone, discovery zone. The drop pass is our fifth passing option. This opens up the ice for the player following behind you, in turn giving them an option to pass the puck across the ice to another player or return it to the original puck carrier to really throw off defenders. There are a couple ways to pull off the drop pass. The first one is by letting go of all buttons on the controller and then pressing the right bumper. What this play will do is drop the puck between your player's legs, allowing the player following you to pick up the loose puck. The disadvantage to this pass is that it can come off as a surprise to the player behind you, especially in EASHL, and they'll likely miss the puck, resulting in a turnover. So I prefer to stick to option 2. With this one, all you need to do is aim towards the trailing player with the left stick as you're skating forward and then press the right trigger to pass it. You have to make the motion quickly to avoid losing any forward momentum accidentally. This play is advantageous for a couple reasons. 1, it lands right on the receiving player's stick instead of them having to skate onto it, and 2, players are never caught off guard unless their head is stuck up their ass. Our sixth passing technique is the very much underutilized saucer pass. The saucer is one of the most useful passes in the game, but requires a higher passing attribute rating to really pull it off consistently. If you have this rating high, then awesome, smart thinking. To pull off the saucer pass, simply press the right bumper instead of the right trigger when making your pass. Holding down RB for a longer period of time results in a harder pass, just like the right trigger. This pass is a little trickier to pull off as it is much harder to be accurate, but all I can say is practice, practice, practice. You want to utilize this pass when there are a lot of sticks in the way of your pass route. You can use it as a cross crease pass or a nice breakout pass. Speaking of breakout passes, this brings us to our next pass technique. The bank pass is one of those maneuvers that are strictly based on practice and experience. You need to be a good judge of angles and velocity to pull these off. But when you do, you look like a god. The bank pass can be done pretty much anywhere on the ice, but where it really shines is when you are using it as a breakout pass. It can fool forecheckers and defenders alike, creating odd man rushes and general havoc. What you want to do is aim your pass so that it banks off the boards and around the opposing player. It is actually a surprisingly easy thing to do once you have an idea of where to aim the pass. Once you've got it, you've got it. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at TargetOdd18 for updates to the subscriber shootout challenge dates, as well as to find out right away when my videos are released. Stay tuned for more NHL 14 tutorials headed your way shortly. Until next time, I'm Target Audience, and I'll see you guys out on the ice.